We know all about the Muppets and their various wacky personalities. However, just as important to their legacy are their puppeteers who helped bring them to life. These are enormously talented people, and they frequently know how to make the Muppets pull off their incredible feats and give them the appropriate voice. So I'm going to celebrate them by naming my top 8 favorite Muppet puppeteers. Just to be clear, I'm basing this primarily on their work with Jim Henson's Muppets, and so I won't be counting Sesame Street and other productions, although I will still mention their other projects. So let's start the countdown. Kevin Clash. Most well known for playing Elmo on Sesame Street, Clash's contributions to the Muppets go far beyond that furry red monster. He could often be counted on to portray background Muppets, but his most notable character was Clifford, one of the more underrated Muppets. Clash brought a laid-back and fun attitude to Clifford, and more than proved his abilities as a host on Muppets Tonight, and he showed up in a few movies and specials too. In addition to Muppets Tonight, Clash also showed a lot of skill working on Muppet Treasure Island. With Frank Oz unavailable to perform his characters, Clash was responsible for controlling them, and the effect was seamless. And he later got the chance to voice Sam the Eagle in It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie. He was also superb as Splinter in the first 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, and played many roles in the recent Dark Crystal prequel series. Bill Beretta. Most of the Muppets that continue to appear multiple times are those introduced during the classic era, so it's a credit to Beretta that the character he originated less than 25 years ago, Pepe the Prawn, remains widely used. And it's easy to see why, as Beretta gives him plenty of energy and spunk, and he made for a good partner with Gonzo. Beretta was also responsible for Bobo the Bear, a lovable addition to the Muppets who was always good for some laughs. Then there are his times taking over for some of Jim Henson's characters, as he's done an excellent job with puppeteering Rolf, the Swedish Chef, and Dr. Teeth. Bill Beretta also got the chance to play the lead role in Brian Henson's raunchy puppet movie The Happy Time Murders, and was the in-suit performer for Earl Sinclair in Dinosaurs. Pepe the Prawn remains his biggest legacy though, and what a legacy to have. Jerry Nelson. Looking at the Muppets he performed, many of them are characters who give off a warm, welcome, and friendly approach to life. He was Floyd Pepper, the bass player for the Electric Mayhem Band, Gonzo's chicken companion Camilla, the fish-flinging New Zealand, Kermit's young nephew Robin, and the door greeter Pops. Nelson was even given the responsibility of voicing the announcer who opens the Muppet Show, although he was also Uncle Deadly and Statler a few times. Beyond the core Muppets, he played Count Von Count on Sesame Street, probably his most famous role, and Go-Go Fraggle in Fraggle Rock. Nelson brought a love to every character he performed, which made his death in 2012 that much sadder. Eric Jacobson. It's tricky to take over established characters, especially when they are so iconic and audiences have a specific familiarity with them. Jacobson has mostly been responsible for performing Frank Oz's characters for over 20 years, and he is fantastic. His Fozzie Bear, Sam Eagle, and Animal are all really well performed, but I think Jacobson's most important work is as Miss Piggy. He captures that pig's diva personality and her want to be the center of attention, as well as her frequent desire to be with Kermit. And something he's especially good at is Miss Piggy's facial expressions. He is able to twist her face in ways that almost always generate laughs from me. Similarly, Eric Jacobson has also done nicely with taking over Oz's Sesame Street characters. He's definitely a worthy successor and an excellent puppeteer in his own right. Dave Ghouls. I've mentioned Muppet performers who have taken over for others, but Dave Ghouls is still playing Gonzo to this day, which is remarkable. Throughout his time as the character, he has helped develop him into that wacky stuntman, always willing to do something crazy. Ghouls is hilarious as Gonzo, but he is also able to get into the occasional loneliness felt by him. Aside from Gonzo, he is also Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, and he nails his devotion to science while ignoring Beaker's continued whimpering. Ghouls has also performed Zoot the saxophonist and Beauregard the janitor, in addition to being the current puppeteer for Waldorf. Outside of the Muppets, Ghouls is also the voice of Figment in the Journey into the Imagination ride at Epcot. However, it mostly makes me happy that he's still the puppeteer and voice of that blue whatever. Richard Hunt. Like many of the Muppet performers, Hunt had an impressive ability playing characters of varying personalities, and he was wonderful at all of them. He was the helpful stage manager Scooter, the hippie band member Janice, the grumpy old man Statler, the constantly nervous Beaker, and the big-hearted Sweetums. He was frequently hilarious in each of these unique roles and brought an incredible amount of charm to them. He knew exactly the right approach with which to take them and how to make sure they stood out from the other Muppets. Sadly, Richard Hunt passed away due to AIDS in 1992, at the far too young age of 40. The characters he performed will continue to make us smile though, and we have Hunt to thank for that. Jim Henson. The creator of the Muppets, he certainly proved himself one of the best and most important puppeteers in the entire history of the art form. The humor and charm he brought to the characters he performed certainly added a lot to their immediate appeal. Kermit the Frog was of course his biggest accomplishment. He effectively portrayed Kermit's soft personality, but was also willing to show the occasional mischievous side that popped up, in addition to those times he blew up with the other Muppets. Rolf the dog was another likable character, always there to give some helpful wisdom. Dr. Teeth and Waldorf are similarly iconic, and who can forget the Swedish chef and his wacky antics? Without Jim Henson, the Muppets would not even exist, and he definitely was not all talk, as he showed an amazing ability for handling his beloved characters. And my favorite Muppet puppeteer is Frank Oz. Some of the funniest Muppets were probably those performed by Frank Oz. There's Fozzie Bear and his love for telling corny jokes, Miss Piggy and her frequent need for the spotlight, Sam Eagle and his disinterest in those wacky Muppets, and Animal and his unfiltered energy. He made sure those Muppets were ones we always remembered, and his comedic timing was often perfect. And outside of the Muppets, he made Yoda an integral part of the Star Wars universe. The funny thing is, Oz has admitted that puppeteer is not the career path he expected, which is why he eventually found his footing as a director on various movies, like Little Shop of Horrors, What About Bob, and Bowfinger. Nonetheless, I think we can appreciate what Henson saw in Oz when he brought him on board Sesame Street and later The Muppet Show. Now let me know in the comments who your favorite Muppet puppeteers are, and I'll see you next time.